Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. You're looking at the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that most people know as a leFhy or a leaf blower. We know as Fifi la Pew Pew because of course it's French and it pews a lot at the enemy. This one is under the command of Targy and he's on the westbourne of Sand River. Game on. Here's a 2 replay video from Targy. He's been busy with his Fifi, and it's a fun Arty to play. It really is. It gets quite addictive after a while. In fact, again, it continually amazes me that Wargaming bring out so many different premium tanks, but there's only 2 premium Arty in the game. Only 2. And I get the feeling that basically Wargaming don't feel confident that enemy or any of the players are capable of playing the game with more than just 2 premium Arty. I think they think that most of these tank players are just insufficient. They're incapable of playing the game properly, because if they had too many premium Arties, then they'd be completely wrecked all the time. And that's because these players just really don't know how to play the game if there's Arty involved. You see this KB1, he's wandered into this zone where Targy is now putting fire down, laying the fire down on the enemy, and the only way he's got of actually avoiding being shot at is to be unseen, to not be spotted. And lucky for him, he is actually intermittently disappearing from our screens, which is why Targy's having a bit of difficulty getting a shot on him. But as soon as Targy does get a direct hit, or rather than as soon as he's dialed in on a particular target, he'll start hammering them and take them out of the game. And unless they run away, they're going to die on the battlefield. It's not unfair to have a good Arty player. It's actually very, very satisfying because, of course, artillery do help your team to win battles. And he's just killed his first one, a Honey 3, right next door to the enemy cap area, a very long range. He got the first kill for his team in that shot. 2 shots very accurately take out an enemy sniper who was waiting to fire rounds at his teammates as soon as they got into range. Well, most of Targy's team are actually still up this end of the map. He's only got a Lux and a Panzer III Ausführung J who actually managed to make it into enemy territory. The rest are all just sticking around and letting Targy do the work for them. Okay, he's not going to get a shot on that guy because he's hiding behind the rock. He knows how to do it, you see. You have to go to those areas where you cannot be spotted, and the enemy Arty just gave away his position. He's in the bushes, in the trees, the palm trees near the cap area. Yes, he got spotted by his tracer. One of the things that Wargaming did when they made the tracer more visible was actually enable other Arty to work out where they were. It just made counter battery a lot easier, but it doesn't stop the effect of Arty, because you can still do that. M8A1 wiped out of the game, 2nd kill for Targy. You cannot keep a good Arty player down because he will use all his skills to take out the enemy. Rounds out. Yep, beautiful shot. 117 hit points. He's just hammering away at the enemy, and we've seen this time and time again in the game that you see a good Arty player can win a battle for their teammates. It's not World of Tanks on easy mode, it's World of Tanks on skillful mode, because a good Arty player can be very skillful. Splash that one. Matilda took 21 hit points, and look at that, his teammate in the T28 gets the kill. Targy did most of the work, but the T28 takes the honors. Matilda takes a hit. Yep, 103. I could tell that one was coming because that guy was just sitting still, trying to shoot at our KB1SA, but just taking the rounds from Targy in the process. And there's another kill, but this time it goes to the VK3001H. And look at that, the enemy Arty also killed our KV1SA. So he obviously knew how to do the job. time and time again, it's proved that Arty players are very, very skillful at determining where they need to place the shell in order to do damage to the enemy. And they can also look at the battlefield as a whole and see where they need to apply their pressure. At the moment, we can see that there's nobody up in the north. The enemy team's up in the north, we're not. And targy's going to have to move from the current position soon and take a defensive position. He's got a Stug by Aslains B and a Semavente near the cap area. I'm not sure that the Semavente can actually see the enemy tanks. Yes, here comes the KV-1, spotted north of our cap area. Yeah, he's marked, he's said, yep, there's the enemy. Now, he hasn't been spotted yet, but you see, the thing is that targy has a view range of 390 meters, so he can actually see the enemy coming quite a long way away. I think the Semavente and the Stug are now aware that they're needed, and there's a T-28 sitting up on that mount near our cap. Matilda LVT, now we don't see them very often. That was a Christmas box, a loot box a while back. Let's see what he can do. Lines it up, working out where he's going. Rounds out. Well, I think we saw the LVT move that wreck of the Matilda aside, so I'm not sure he's there anymore. I think he's moved a bit further forward. Now he's concealing himself in this bush for the moment. He knows he's going to have to deal with that KV-1. He's expecting him to actually come onto the area, the causeway, you might say, there between the north and the south. And oh, he's got company. So this is where targy can really show his benefit with pumping some heat rounds into that KV-1 to get rid of him that way. Yes! 77 hit points. He's selected heat. We can't get the shots down into the roof bed. We can certainly hit him with a... That was a heat round. It didn't go through. He's going to try it again, see if he can get the weak spot. Oh, that one bounced off the mantlet. Okay, still firing heat. Can't see the target. There he is. Lined it up. Yeah, that one didn't fail. It failed to go through because it hit the tracks. Knocked his tracks out. Oh, that one went in. 311 from that one alone. One more shot like that and he's out the game. And he is. So you just see, just goes to show that the heat rounds on the Fifi can be deadly. In fact, our teammates have now dealt with the other tanks that were actually down in the riverbed. So now there's only 4 enemies left. A T-28E with the F-30 gun, an M10 RBFM who's now moved to the north and he's just been spotted. We're still loaded with heat, and there's the Stug guy who was on the north bank. But can we get a shot into him? Well, line it up. Yes, he did! He went right through the engine deck and wiped that guy out as well. So targy now has 5 kills. He's 1 short of getting a top gun. And there's only 2 enemy left. The Gorilla and the T-28E with the F-30. And well, the F-30 gun is an 85mm. It's a very weak medium tank, the T-28E. Very thin armor. Oh, he's still firing the heat. Load the HE. Long range shot. He's trying to get that top gun. Fires the round in. I think he's going to miss that one. Yeah, it's such a long flight time. 4 seconds of flight. And unfortunately, we just lost the VK. Well, that Gorilla suddenly trying to drive away. You really need to be on the HE rounds for these ones. targy's moving as fast as he can. The rest of his teammates are moving quickly as well. He's fired snap with an HE round. He's 1 short of getting a top gun. It'd be really nice if we can get one before the end of the game. 2 chances to do it. Only the Stug staying behind to cover the cap. He could actually come south with us. I think that's why targy turned around and said, help us. Well, unfortunately, the T28 used his 85mm and has just taken out our Wolverine. Now, we've lost sight of him again. He's running short on ammo as well, so he needs to conserve it. Only 10 rounds left. The 7 Vente's going to come across them, but I think they're around the other side, so very difficult to get a hit. But he can do it. Rounds out. Oh, no, it's going to miss. He's on the move at the moment, but yeah, that didn't work. And that was close, but no cigar. And the T28 goes down, and I don't think that the 7 Vente is going to let you get the one on the gorilla, even though he's showing his rear to us. Can we get the hit? No, he's sitting behind the wreck, and the 7 Vente ends the game with a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second-class tanker for targy in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5. One short of getting that top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 15 in this one. And his win rate was 4,363, which is Super Unicum standard. He did do an awful lot of damage. In fact, he was leading the team. And he says warming up nicely on this one. For a long time, he was leading the team. In fact, when you look at damage, the 7 Vente managed to get past him on damage because, of course, he killed both the T28E with the F30 and the Gorilla at the end of the game. And that's what made him go above targy on damage. The 7 Vente managed 1,739. He picked up a high caliber and Confederate. targy picked up 1,581 in second place. And the Wolverine managed, he actually managed to get 4th place because the M10 RBFM on the enemy team got 1,051 in 3rd place. When it came to kills, though, targy was 5 kills. 3 kills went to the T28E with his F30 gun, and also to the Wolverine on the enemy team. And then 2 kills went to the 7 Vente, the VK3001H, the T28 on his own team, and the Gorilla on the enemy team. Yes, he was good as well. And when it came to base XP, it's the 7 Vente who scores the win with 882, with targy getting 857. And the 3rd place player was the M10 RBFM on their team with 554. He fired 43 rounds, so only 7 rounds left at the end of the game. One of those was a heat round. 16 direct hits on the enemy, 6 penetrations. Well, he did use those heat rounds, and to good effect as well. They were getting through, but not just the heat rounds. Some of the HE rounds got through as well with a penetrating shot. He got 14 splashes as well, 1,581 hit points of damage, of which 990 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see he was firing some close range shots at the KV-1 and the guys who were north of the riverbank. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, 224 hit points of damage assistance. And on a premium count, he made a profit of 29,100 credits. And he also took away 3,085 base XP as well. Base XP. That's the actual XP at the end, because the base XP is that figure there. So, yes, a profitable one on both credits and XP. And as he says, nicely warming up. Yep, warming up nicely. He's just getting ready. He's getting ready to battle the enemy and get very accurate and get nice scores. And of course, a lot of players do use the Fifi to generate credits because, of course, it's one of those, Arty, not just the fact that it does generate more credits because it's a premium, but it does generate more credits anyway, simply because you get more hits on the enemy. Because if you're good and you play it right and you practice and you watch how other people do it, then sooner or later you twig and you start generating vast amounts of credits on a regular basis to keep your accounts running. And then, of course, you can buy all the other Arty in the game and have a lot of fun with them as well. Anyway, this was the first replay. Let's have a look at the second one. On the second game, we're on the north spawn of Erlenberg. Game on. He's the only Arty in the game on his team. On the enemy team, they've got an M41 HMC, and whilst that Arty does have the entire range of the battlefield to actually fire at, because the PP won't fire at the whole range, it's got a limited range, but only just. But it also means that targy actually has a better fire rate, and that means that his team is getting better support. Standard reload is 8.92 seconds. This thing's got 7.01 seconds between each shot. Now, he's picked a rather unusual spot to fire from, but he's found some targets already. And that guy's stopped to take a shot. Dial in on his position. Now he's on the move again. Line up, rounds out, long range shot. Very close. Stopped to take a shot. Oh, I think he got tracked actually, but we fired just after he'd been stopped and he got wiped out. T-34. No, a bit short on that one on the range. Okay, lead the target, remember. Oh, and another one that gets wiped out before we can get the kill. Now, our teammate in the looks here is under severe pressure. A load of enemy tanks there. I think he's going to go down. He does. Unfortunately, the enemy seems to get away. Now, can we get shots on that guy? Rounds out. Oh, one shot kill. Yep, he went straight through the armor on that guy, the M8A1. It looks like the shell may have gone into the cockpit and killed all the crew with one round. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, rounds out. Bit short. But the Chinook goes down to the Type 64, who's got the speed and the gun to actually do the damage. Okay, dialing in on the budgie. Tier 6 game with Tier 4 tanks in it. Rounds out. Close. It's always fun actually shooting through a window at the enemy. The enemy does get rather surprised when the round pokes through, right through a hole and wipes them out, but Tiger 131 dialed in, rounds out. He's under a lot of pressure because there's loads of enemy tanks coming towards him. Rounds out again, gets the hit. Two enemy tanks getting very close now. Only a Stug protecting us. We might have to start moving. Well, there is a Lux there as well, and a Sab M43 the other side of the river. He got a hit there on the Tiger 131, but yeah, he's changing position. He's gone defensive. He realizes that he can't stand the pressure. Gone around the other side of the building. He knows that target is over this side, so he's trying to use the building to side scrape off it. And the enemy is coming towards us. And I think Targy's aware, but he can't shoot from the current position he's in. Yep, it's a bad position for shooting up that way. And so really he has to go defensive and just wait for the enemy to arrive, because if he tries to cross the river, he's more likely going to get blown up. He's backed up a bit, and now he's actually deeper in the water. In fact, he hasn't got a target he can shoot at. He's trying to get shots on this VK2801-105. Line up. Rounds out. Oh, that was a kill. Now, the Su-76M, he should be able to take that guy out, even if he does get very, very, very close. This position is not a good position, and I think he now realizes it. Okay, he's auto aimed onto the Lux, so the moment the Lux stops, he gets a hit. 110, but he has been spotted, which means enemy Arty could be on him very shortly. Oh, he gets the kill on the Lux, but change your position quickly. Enemy Arty could be dialing in right now for a very accurate shot. That's it, he's doing it. They've killed the last remaining enemy, which was the Su-76 and the Giro. There's only two enemies left now, that Tiger 131 and the M41 HMC. We lost sight of the Tiger 131. He was round the other side of that building. And the enemy Arty was actually way down on the southeast corner, and he's just got wiped out, which means the Tiger is now the last remaining enemy. Okay, that was a bit of a snap. Didn't work. Snaps don't work on the whole, mainly because people fire them too quick and no chance of hitting the target. That did hit the target, but it didn't hit something that could actually do damage. Now, rounds out again. That's better. Engine deck. Lines the shot up in path of the enemy. Rounds out. Another hit. He's smashing this guy's pieces. Lines up another one. He's got a problem now. Just about make it over the ridgeline. The shell went high. Whenever the rescue gets obscured, there's something blocking the path. He got a direct hit there, and we're capping out, which is unfortunate because we could get the kill. We did get the kill, and we capped out as well. And that's the game over. Well, targy was certainly under pressure in that battle. He said, keep calm. Yeah, well, it was the wrong position to be in, I'm afraid, because he couldn't get shots on those guys from where he was. And if he'd actually been on the other side of the river, near where he actually spawned, he might have been able to still get shots on them, even though he would have been a little further away. But as it was, he was almost waiting for the enemy to poke their heads around the corner and try and take a shot at him so he could fire back at them. He got a second-class tanker in this game, which is good. And he also got a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. This one, he managed to get 9. His win rate was higher, 5,049. I'm not sure, is that higher than the last game? Yes, it is. Actually, he did do better. 5,049 is good, but it was a little fraught with danger because the enemy could have discovered him and done some severe damage. In fact, he did get spotted, but the enemy Arty didn't try to dial in on him. And normally, Arty, once they're spotted, you will try to dial in on them because they're the least likely to keep moving about whilst they're trying to aim at the enemy. Makes them an easy kill. If we look at the team scores, we can see that he didn't get the highest damage. That Type 64 managed to get 2,060 hit points, and he picked up the high caliber. Targy got second place, well, third place actually, sorry, because the Budgie managed to get 1,900, and then we've got Targy 1,892, just 8 hit points less. When it came to kills, it was the Type 64. 5 kills for him, 3 kills for Targy, 2 kills for the Soto, the VK3001H, and the KV1 and the G-Ro on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's got second place again because the Type 64 managed 1,158, the only player to get over 1,000 in the game. 830 went to Targy, 782 went to the Looks, and the Looks managed to get a Confederate as well in that game. He fired 24 rounds, so he barely fired, well, half of his ammunition, less than half. He got 11 direct hits on the enemy, 3 penetrating shots, and 11 splash. Damage 1,892 hit points, of which 1,194 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 4 of the enemy, killed 3, so a lot less than he did in the previous game, but then he was kind of hindered on shooting some of the enemy tanks simply by that riverbank, and I don't think he'll be using that position anytime soon in the future, and if he does, then I'd have to wonder why. But he did get 21,465 credits profit, and he took away 9,213 experience points out of that one. He got a reward for completing a mission of 7,470, so that's a good one out of that. So 2 interesting games where in the first one we see Targy dominate the battlefield. Really, he was hammering the enemy and getting some really nice shots. In fact, some of them were one-shot kills on the enemy. And then, of course, we see the second one where he's in a little more problem and he doesn't have the good position, but he still manages to hammer the enemy and get some kills out of it. So I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. If you did, please give it a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, gets these videos noticed. And we will have more replays featuring the Fifi later on today because I do have a large number of them and some of them are humdingers. So I think you will enjoy them if you do tune in. Thanks for watching.